SALGA is urging President Cyril Ramaphosa and the 7th Parliament to prioritise the revitalisation of dysfunctional municipalities in the new parliamentary term. SALGA President Bheki Stofile joins us now to discuss their call further. Good evening, Mr. Stofile. Thank you very much for your time on The Full View. You've urged the President to prioritise the revitalisation of dysfunctional municipalities. Just take us through what the role of the President, or at least what role he should play to ensure municipalities are revitalised.
Thank you very much, and greetings to you and to your listeners, and thank you for having us. It is recorded and known that we've got a number of dysfunctional municipalities in the country. And of course, the debate, it should start from the time we conceived municipal systems in the Republic. And that borders on issues of proper allocation of finances to municipalities, and that goes to leadership issues or governance issues, as you may want to call it. I think the 2021 COCTA review on the dysfunctionality of municipalities identified about 7 factors that leads towards the dysfunctionality of the municipality. Mm-hmm. It is our view as SALGA that one of the weakness for these municipalities to reach this stage is the inability of the government as a unit, as a single unit, to collaborate and coordinate its efforts and make impact to communities. For instance, today I was in one of the municipalities in the country that are supported by national government and through the network, sewer network, and many other water-related matters. And contracts and business that have been appointed in this municipality that I'm making an example of were appointed by national government and accounting to national government. And then that impact on service delivery and inability to coordinate the activities of government to respond positively to challenges that communities are facing. So in a nutshell, we do believe that the call of the President in this 7th term is a call that asks us to focus to build collaborations amongst government to respond to challenges that communities are facing.
Mr. Stofile, that example that you make now of a municipality that has to account to national, just give us more clarity. Is this a municipality not one of the dysfunctional ones that have been placed under administration?
No. It's not one of the municipalities that have been placed in administration. I'll make a number of examples of municipalities that have been historically placed in the administration, but showing what I'm saying is lacking generally in government to act and collaborate on matters that need the government mostly. I mean, for instance, you can take Mfuleni, you can take Mangaung, you can take the Sobotla, you can take Gijima today, where the national capacity, if you want to call it capacity, if there is anything called in that way, were deployed to intervene and assist the municipality to turn around. But Gijima, as we speak today, is worse off of what it was before. Mfuleni is worse off of what it was before. And if you know and remember that Mfuleni, for instance, when it was taken over through national and provincial intervention, Mfuleni was at least owing Eskom 800 million. Today, Mfuleni is owing over 6 billion to municipality. And this issue, it speaks to the inability to coordinate and collaborate on matters that affects the municipality.
So as SALGA, you're saying that you're not particularly of the view that there should be greater intervention by national government if there are problems or a municipality is dysfunctional? Because one would assume the reason they come in is because services are not being delivered.
One of the biggest issues, Madam, is that when you see in all areas where the national and provincial government intervene using Section 139, you find that there is a competition amongst those that have been deployed to intervene and administer the affairs of the municipalities administratively. And that is why they find it difficult to turn the tide.
So what exactly should happen if you find that when they are deployed to the local government, most of these national officials compete? What exactly should happen to ensure that a municipality is turned around?
There's a lot of noise behind you, and I can't hear you anyway.
Pardon me for the noise, but I'm asking, what do you propose would be ideal to turn around these municipalities, if perhaps there must be a curtailing of some sort of influence, or to minimize the amount of influence that national government would have on these local municipalities? What should happen?
The first thing, let's use the two instruments that are applied in the Constitution. The first instrument is the Section 154 supporting municipalities. And that support, it must come out of the proper diagnosis of what are the weaknesses of the municipality. And that process, it must then compassed by human investment and financial investment. Because what we see over the period, and we're using the literature that we have now in terms of this application of this intervention to municipalities, this intervention doesn't come with the extraordinary financial resources to municipalities. Municipalities are expected to pay the intervention that the national government chose to come to it. And we are saying one of the important things that the national government, provincial government must try to adopt is to develop a standard operation model where you factor what type of skill that is required to this municipality to perform its duty. What resources that are required to this municipality, it must be covered on your standard operating model. And unfortunately, we don't have a standard operating model. That is why you find a person who has failed to one municipality in the past, but is deployed by a national government to intervene in a municipality, who will then push that municipality to a serious problem than what it is. So the first thing that we are saying is that in the process of looking into municipalities, we must tighten on the collaboration and cooperation amongst and within the government itself. Secondly, if it pushes us to a point that we arrive to a point of intervention, it is important that we apply Section 154 to diagnose what is the problem so that we go through to the program. As we go to that program, we must then develop our own standard operation model so that we are able, when we go out of that municipality, we know that we have made an impact, we have put ourselves on objectives, and these objectives are clearly defined.
So greater collaboration between the different spheres of government. Then to this one, Cocta Minister Velenkosini Hlabisa was asked by journalists on the sidelines of the weekend cabinet Lekgotla what he intended to do on the dysfunctional or around the dysfunctional or poor performing municipalities. He was quite frank, essentially drawing the line in the sand, saying those municipalities that are dysfunctional simply must be dissolved, quite contrary to your views. What do you make of this?
The issue which we want to say and put it into the public, the provincial government and national government are great because we must be informed by literature. It should not be about gut feels. It should be informed by literature. We said, don't dissolve Tshwane municipality because dissolution of Tshwane municipality is not going to help you to address the problems. What is going to happen after dissolution of that municipality, we are going to place that municipality 90 days as the law requires to elections. You will get the same results of what you have got, and that made you to dissolve the municipality. The problem is that when we talk about dissolution of municipality...
Do you mean from the electorate? Pardon me for interjecting there. Do you mean you'll get the same result insofar as the electoral outcome is concerned?
That is possible.
No, but Minister Hlabisa said that, according to him, he has faith in the electorate, that they would have seen which political parties would have been holding back the municipality, that perhaps they would vote differently. So it is important that you take it back to the people to make a fresh decision.
Unfortunately, when you talk about democracy, people have a right to vote for anything. So you won't tell the people that you can't vote A, you can't vote B. And that is why in South Africa you've got over 50 parties that have contested the last elections, because everybody has a right to contest elections. So that is why we are saying, to us, dissolution of municipality is not just like putting a pen on the paper, because you must have an effort to tighten the administrative system so that this administrative system, as a center of service delivery, it becomes stronger. Mm-hmm. And when it's stronger, is able, the system, even if you've got governance issues in terms of fighting between those that are councillors or those that are leading the municipality at political level, but the system itself, it must be strong and respond.
Mm-hmm. Would you be looking to engage the minister perhaps on your views around, or at least his views as well, around perhaps looking at dissolving municipalities if they're dysfunctional?
No, we will. Of course, we've got a series of sessions that we'll be having with the minister, taking from the past. One of the issues that we'll be discussing is that how do we turn the tide using the plans and the views that were discussed and debated in the sixth administration, and as far as how do we turn the tide of municipalities. The one issue that we'll be also raising to minister is that consolidating of municipalities and create a grave site is one of the contributions of creating dysfunctional municipality. And how do we deal with that? Because it's not a municipal function to consolidate municipality, it's a cabinet function. And at what point do we avoid such instances so that we don't grow the envelope of dysfunctional municipalities?
Mm-hmm. A very interesting conversation. I wish we had more time to talk about the allocation of funding, because it's a very contentious one where most of the smaller municipalities hope they would get more money. But thank you very much. That's SALGA President Bheki Stofile speaking to us there.